Hello, it's Ashton.
And it is John. What is up, sub sandwiches? In today's video, we're going to be learning about the Netherlands.
The top 10 things you didn't know about the Netherlands by the channel Top List. I can read it. I
can't see anything though over there.
How can't you?
Because it was right there in the bottle of water, though, guys. Anyway, this was a suggestion from the Creedy Dutch guy. Thank you so much for the support. I'd like to know what you guys think about my country. Well, we would be happy to share what we think about it so far.
I've always wanted to go there, not gonna lie.
The Netherlands. Netherland dwarves. I don't know if they're actually from Netherland or not. Netherland dwarf rabbits. But they are so cute. Those are the ones that stay little guys, and they're kind of like the little baby bunnies. They keep that size. I had one. He died. It was heartbreaking. But anyway, you guys can also help support the channel. Click on that link down below in the descriptive. If you throw it down through Streamlabs, you can let you pick one of the next videos that we react to. Just keep it under 10 minutes. Include video, link, title, your email, and let's get to that video.
For most people outside of the Netherlands, the first thing that comes to mind when they think of the country is being stoned to death while sitting in a coffee shop eating pout brownies. But the truth is that the Netherlands has a lot more to offer than just that. From tulip fields to hagelslag, the Netherlands has a rich history and culture that demands telling. These are the 10 things you didn't know about the Netherlands.
Let's see it.
The Netherlands is truly the land of giants, with average heights of women being 171 centimeters or 5'6" inches tall, and men standing an average of 184 centimeters or 6 feet tall. The Dutch are
so
the
they're
tallest
about
people.
2 inches higher than the national average here in America.
Women here are 5'3" average.
Really? So 3 inches on the female side and 2 inches on the male side.
In the world, and scientists have been studying just why that is. One thing that is interesting is that the Dutch experienced a total gain of 20 centimeters or 8 inches in the last 150 years.
Oh, weird.
Compared to 6 centimeters for Americans, or 2.3 inches. And the stunning fact is that prior to this growth spurt, Americans were actually taller. There have been many theories as to why this is the case, but most scientists posit natural selection as the reason, which explained simply means naturally tall people seeking out other naturally tall people and having many offspring with them leads to offspring that are tall.
True.
Over time, the majority of Dutch people then became taller than most people, because that is the overwhelming genetic trend. Interestingly enough,
Let us know down in the comments, like let's get some engagement, whether you prefer to be tall or to be short, or if you prefer tall people or short people, or like partners, like tall or short.
I think it depends on your mate.
I like to be tall. I would not want to be short. Not that it's bad. I think it's cute when people are short, but me personally, I'm really happy that I'm tall. I wish I was like an inch or two taller, to be honest, like 2 inches.
See, like a lot of guys.
I'm 5'8".
A lot of guys want to be taller, but I'm really happy with my height. Like, and I'm the perfect level of taller than you. Any more tall, and it'd be kind of odd, but I'm like, just like that much taller than her.
I think it'd be attractive if you were maybe an inch or two taller. I don't think it'd be a bad thing. But any taller than that, I mean, yeah, unless I was taller than
Thanks for making me think I was happy with it, and then you
no,
just recorrected.
No, I mean, like, I'm saying it's not an issue the way you are, but I'm saying if you were, like, an inch or two taller, it wouldn't be an issue, but anything over that, I think it'd start to get, like, weird. I don't want you to look like a giant next to me.
Yeah, there's a certain level you want somebody to fall in.
And I would never want to be the same height as anybody.
Yeah, that'd be
Me and you are really close in height.
Yeah, we're only like 2 inches different.
Not gonna lie, it was almost a deal breaker when we got together. I'm just kidding.
What? Now I'm really guessing my height.
This is
Holy
leading to
shit.
Dutch people asking for more legroom on planes and greater door heights to complement their gigantic stature. Everyone talks about how harsh the German language sounds, but it really doesn't hold a candle to Dutch in that department. Most people have never been exposed to the Dutch language, so they don't really know what it sounds like. But the truth is, if you're not Dutch and you have a sore throat, you might want to stay away from those Dutch lessons, at least until you've recovered. And even if you don't know the languages, you can hear the difference. Compare these examples in German and Dutch in a sentence meaning, good afternoon, how are you doing? First the German, guten Tag, wie geht es Ihnen? With the Dutch, goedendag, hoe gaat het met u?
Ooh,
you see,
there's a lot of harshness.
Dutch is pronounced and Dutch has lots of It can get really tricky
really hard
as
on
a
your throat,
for
too.
example, if you need to pronounce a G together with a CH sound, such as in the Dutch word geschiedenis, meaning history. Compare that with the German Geschichte, and you'll see why the myth of the harsh German language is largely
This
fictional.
is why I never
Still,
did languages
if you
in high
decide to
school.
learn
Oh
the
my
Dutch
God.
language,
That's so
make sure you're
odd.
not sick and that you're ready to give your throat and mouth a real beating.
It
The
looks
Dutch
difficult.
language has real flavor, which is why when the Dutch swear, they do it with
Sounds difficult
style.
would be a better way to say it, I
Maybe
guess.
one of the most unusual qualities of the Dutch language is that when the Dutch swear, some of the strongest curses are those related to sickness and disease. Kanker, cholera, typhus, Mongol, or cancer, cholera, typhus, mongoloid, with the last one referring to someone with Down syndrome. The Dutch really love their diseases,
Jesus.
sometimes used in incredibly flexible contexts, such as krijg de kanker, meaning get cancer, or even when it's not an insult, such as in kankerlekker, literally cancer tasty, but meaning good tasting or sometimes even very attractive. Liar is a slang form of the word lijder, which means sufferer, and can be used as an insult by itself or in conjunction with fabulous diseases such as kankerleier, which means, you guessed it, cancer sufferer. No one really knows why the
Damn.
Dutch are so fond of diseases in their language,
Just
but you have to
culture.
give it to them. It really makes them stand out. The Dutch tend to be fixated on the status quo, or normalcy. There's a simple but common expression in the Netherlands that goes like this: doe normaal, literally meaning do normal, but translates better as just act normally. Bragging, showing off too much, being overly emotional or expressive in public, or acting in a weird or foreign manner, all of these things are frowned upon, because at the end of the day, the Dutch people are pretty conformist, but probably not so much as to give the Germans a run for their money. Still, no one wants to be seen as weird. Doe normaal is sort of a way of life for the Dutch people, and it's one you best live by if you want to live in the Netherlands. For most people, it's hard to think of a national dish that comes to mind when they think of the Netherlands. And the truth is, you probably won't find one that is truly unique in terms of conventional food. But there is one food item you won't find anywhere else, and that is hagelslag, or literally blow of hail in English. The food is both simple and elegant, with the key element being sprinkles,
Gross.
most often of the chocolate variety, on a bread roll, sometimes combined with butter. You see, in
That's so odd.
I mean, like, I'm sure it's good, especially being from, you know, being from America, we don't eat that kind of stuff.
No.
But over there, I mean,
Because to be honest, I hate sprinkles. I don't think there's any actual flavor.
I do
They're just an
too.
aesthetic piece you use to put on ice cream to make it look cooler.
yep, I think they taste terrible. They hurt my teeth. It's like eating chocolate chips. I hate chocolate chips. They hurt my teeth. Like, it just, like, I don't know.
I find that very weird, though. They just eat that on toast with butter.
I know. I
That's
feel like
just
that'd
so
be.
odd.
Maybe we should try it.
Because you know what, though? Like, the good thing on toast just by itself is cinnamon and sugar. Just cinnamon, sugar, butter.
If you
it's
have
amazing.
not had that, okay, put
It's so simple.
toast in a toaster. Toast it. Don't make it black or anything, but make it like a toasty brown, like a nice brown. Put some butter on it. Put a little bit of sugar on it and cinnamon.
Yes, and it
So
will.
good.
I mean, it's something that almost everybody's heard
Another
of,
thing
but-
you can do that's not like this, but it's like the same type of thing, is get some white rice and boil it, get it cooked, and then empty the water, or strain the water out of it, and then pour some milk in it, and then put brown sugar, or not brown sugar, white sugar with cinnamon in it. That's really good too. Really sweet though, but it's
Yeah,
really good.
for sure.
the United States and other places, you only put sprinkles on ice cream, but the Dutch are ahead of the game and have gone one step further. And hagelslag is more than just a food.
I'd be sick if I
It's
ate
part
that.
of the Dutch
Right.
essence, because why else would they take a beschuit or a biscuit and slap on pink or blue sprinkles
It is
when a
odd.
new baby has arrived?
Looks like
It
a
looks
donut,
Red
though.
for
pretty.
girls
Yeah.
and blue for boys. This tradition is a testament to the importance of hagelslag in the Dutch culture and heritage, and shows
cool,
that when
though.
it comes to the Netherlands, there's just no separating the food and its people. The Germans and the Dutch have always had an odd relationship, and up until very recently, it's been a rather bad one. These relations were particularly under strain after World War II, since the German invasion against the Dutch was met with some of the fiercest resistance and greatest resentment of any country, and for years there was visceral hatred felt towards the Germans. A Guardian article relates the following. Commentators in the British media may indulge in a fair share of German bashing, but that's nothing to what I grew up with. Growing up in the Netherlands in the 70s and 80s, anti-German feelings seemed as natural as cheese, skating, and gay rights. Germans really were the other, humorless closet fascists who had destroyed the magnificent port of Rotterdam. then occupied and pillaged our country for 5 years, murdering 80% of our Jews.
Jesus.
But times have changed, and increasingly, the Dutch have warmer feelings towards the Germans than ever before. As the saying goes, time heals all wounds, even those apparently of the greatest conflict to have ever occurred. Even people outside of the Netherlands have heard of the iconoclastic politician Geert Wilders, the founder and leader of the Partij voor de Vrijheid, the Party for Freedom, or PVV as it's usually referred to. Wilders is a controversial political figure in the Netherlands, best known for his opposition to the religion of Islam, having gone so far as to have suggested the banning of the Quran in the Netherlands. Because of his views on Islam, Wilders is under 24-hour protection by armed bodyguards, since his views put his life in danger.
Damn.
Some of his proposals have included, but are not limited to, placing a 5-year moratorium on the immigration of any non-Western foreigner, and replacing Article 1 of the Dutch Constitution guaranteeing equality under the law to one stressing the cultural dominance of Christian and humanist culture. Dutch people tend to have mixed feelings about Wilders, because apart from his views on Islam in Europe, not much else stands out about him, except for his platinum blonde dyed slick back hair maybe. The Dutch people have always had the reputation of being savvy merchants and businessmen, and when it came to the Atlantic slave trade, this was no exception. One of the primary centers of this thriving business was the so-called Slavenkust, or Slave Coast, which refers to the numerous trading posts of the Dutch West India Company, which were found in present-day Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and Ghana. The main purpose of these outposts was to supply African slaves to the plantation colonies in the Americas. Fortunately, slavery was officially abolished in 1863 in the Netherlands, and with it went the country's participation in the Atlantic slave trade. Parts of the Netherlands aren't really the Netherlands. In fact, one unique region that is technically part of the Netherlands, but has its own culture and history, is Friesland. Friesland is located about as north as you can get in the Netherlands, and is probably best known for the fact that it's home to its own unique and special language, closely related to Dutch, but also different enough to warrant separate classification. The unique status of Frisian makes the people in the province who speak it outliers in Dutch society, and Frisian is also the most closely related language to English in the entire world.
Oh, wow.
Followed by Dutch as a close second. Usually everyone thinks of the Portuguese or the Spanish when it comes to exploration of the world's oceans and discovering new lands. But depending on how you measure it, the Dutch may have been the greatest explorers ever. Master shipbuilders and cartographers, the Dutch managed to be the first Europeans to discover such far-flung places as Svalbard, Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Sakhalin, and Easter Island.
Oh, wow.
In fact, the Dutch were successful in almost mapping out 3/4 of the entire Australian coastline, though traditionally the first European explorers of Australia are thought to be the English. Say what you want, but the legacy of this pioneering spirit lives on in the Dutch people today, and makes this small nation the amazing country it is. For more top lists like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out our other videos.
Definitely go subscribe to them.
Bam, liked it.
Their channel's called Top Lists.
So
I thought that was a really good video. I enjoyed it.
I think they did a really good job, but it didn't break down some parts of Netherlands that are like super important too, like aesthetically, what does it look like what's the temperature, how's the weather, things like that, to actually know like what it feels like to live there, you know.
Well,
or cuisines. Those are like the big things for me. Temperature.
But these were the top 10
beauty.
Things that you didn't know. Like,
yeah, true.
I mean,
I know that.
Who's to say most people don't know about what the temperature is around, or like what their weather's like, you know?
Right.
Those are just random little facts that people didn't know.
Right, but I was just saying this because the greedy Dutch guy asked, I like to know what you guys think about my country, and those are the things I look for if I can like give it a real, like a country, a real, I don't know.
You need to know more than just those little facts.
A rating.
Like what does it look like, you know, like what's the different kinds of like weather, for example, or scenery, or
right. If I was gonna rate it based off of how like good it looks and like if I'd want to live there and stuff like that, I need to know those things.
Like what are the people like? Yeah.
I don't.
Like, what do you have to do there? Like, you know, yeah, I get it.
I don't get the. That has to be so hard to do because I'll do that for a while jokingly on something and my throat will hurt for like a day. And I don't get it. It's so weird. Anyway, man, thank you so much for the support. just from that video though, it just looks like it's a pretty cool place. Everyone's super tall. They talk like really harsh though. It's kind of scary in a way. A land of giants that speak harsh.
I wouldn't like to go there and live there because I'd feel too much like everybody else because I'm 5'8".
Yeah.
Here, I feel a little more dominant than other females because I'm
Little bit
taller.
taller.
You know what I mean though?
I'm like average size.
Like
yeah.
it's not like you don't feel more dominant, but you kind of feel. Am I the only?
Makes you feel better about yourself.
But then there's like short people that love being short. I don't know. I guess I've been tall my whole life, so I would never be able to relate to that. Like, what does it feel like to be short? You know, like, do people love it? Do they like? What do they feel inferior to taller people, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not in the short person's head, so I can't really know. But I feel like I would fit in too much, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like being tall.
Guys, go and subscribe to the channel that is Topless. It's very important to support the channels that you love, and peace out.
Bye.